What's going on? Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Side Hustle Night School. Come on in. All right, what's going on, everybody? Come on in. Say hello when you come into my broadcast. Welcome to Side Hustle Night School. Let me get Instagram launched here. Let me know how y'all doing. Is everybody having a good night? I hope so. Say hello when you come in. Let's see. We're going to go live on Instagram. Let me make sure my comments is coming through. Let me go find the broadcast first, and then I'll come back to IG. All right, let's see. Let's see if it's showing up. All right, I see it. Okay. All right. Say hello, everybody. We're going to get this party started on this Thursday night. What's going on? Instagram. We're going to get them in here. And we're live. Hey, Instagram. What's going on with you? What's going on, everybody? My name is Martine Corte. We're going to get this started. Welcome for those that are new to my broadcast. Instagram and Facebook, and we're also streaming on YouTube. So we're multi-streaming. Let me get this straight. So welcome. This is Side Hustle Night School. My name is Martine Corte. If you don't know, if you've never seen any of my broadcasts or you're just new to me, well, very nice to meet you and welcome. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. I'm a side hustler out here in these streets. Yes, and I'm a live streamer. I am the founder, visionary of our Back to Our Roots tour, Ghana, West Africa. And I'm also a best-selling author. My book is Journey to Greatness. And I am also a 20-year tax professional and a 10-year landlord. Say hello when you come into the broadcast, everybody. I'm also a business coach for a lot of small business owners. So I'm very happy to be of assistance to a lot of you out there. Let's see. Hey, Instagram. I work with small business owners, side hustlers, live streamers, artists, authors, nonprofit leaders, community leaders to help them reach more clients in their business or in their mission with the assistance of live streaming, what we're doing right here, right now, to help them get to the bag and make more money in their business. Hey, King, how you doing? I'm also a radio personality on 95.7 The Boss, and we have an event coming, y'all. I'm going to let y'all know about that, the Boss Awards. Hey, Deborah, she says, hi, Martine. Well, thank you for sliding in, Deborah, to Side Hustle Night School. Hey, Frida, she says, good evening, Queen. Well, good evening to you, ma'am. Thank you for coming on in here on this Thursday evening. Are y'all out of money for y'all business, in your business? Instagram, are y'all out of money? Why are we running out of money in our business? We're trying to make money, but we can't make money if we don't have any. So let me help y'all identify pitfalls, where you're lacking at. Why are you losing money? Because it could be just a strategy that you just need to implement, or maybe you need to monitor things a little bit better so that you can continue to have cash flow, constant cash flow in your business. So come on in. If this is something you want to hear, I advise you to get paper and pen, take notes, because Side Hustle Night School is about to begin. So welcome, everybody. I'm going to give you a few updates before we get started. The SBA Economic Injury Disaster Loan, which we refer to as the EIDL, is still available. So we're talking about money, cash flow, income, revenue. If you need more money in your business, that could be an opportunity for you. So if you need a loan, the idle is still open. The application is still open. It's still on the table. So you need to go get that. You need to go apply. Get that money, y'all. Go ahead and apply if you haven't applied already. The deadline, that's going to be closing December 31. So they're giving you to the rest of this year to get it in. There's still some small business owners that have not applied for the EIDL. Okay, we know the PPP is gone, the Paycheck Protection Program, that's done, it's been done. But SBA says, hey, don't forget about us. Come on over here and apply for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. So y'all check that out. Just go to sba.gov for more information, okay? All right. Let's see. On the tax side, we just hit our deadline for those that file for an extension on your taxes. You couldn't get it done back in April 15th. So you filed an extension, 6-month extension that just rolled past us October 15th. However, if you are still in need to file your taxes, you still can. You're going to just be penalized for late filing because now you're past the extension deadline. So the extension kind of, gave you a little bit more time. So now they're going to start assessing, interest if you owe money. So that was the whole reason why you wanted to file an extension on your taxes, was to avoid the penalty on the interest if you owe. Okay. Now you're still going to may get charged a, late filing penalty. They can always do that at any time. Right. So late payment fee as well. But we were trying to cover you with this extension for the interest on the amount due. So let me know. We are open 24/7 year round, basically, under our tax brand, Advanced Tax Solutions. So slide into my DM. Let me know if you need help. If you know somebody is still trying to file and they've been talking to you about it, let them know that we are over here. We're ready to help you all. And we want to get that business taken care of because we're getting ready to roll into the next tax season here in a couple more months. So we want to go ahead and get that taken care of. Okay. So let me know if you need help. All right. Let's see. Also, the child tax credit is still going on. They're paying those families that qualify for those advanced payments. They're paying you out monthly. That started back in July, and they're going to be paying you monthly throughout December, until December. And then come next year, when you file your taxes, you'll go ahead and claim the other 6 months as a child tax credit. Okay. So if you're still having problems receiving the payments, or you qualify, you've received child tax credit in the past and you qualify, and you're not receiving those checks, let me know. I can help you. There's a portal that you need to be signed up with on the irs.gov website. So you can try going over there first and getting entered into the portal so you can be on their radar, especially for those that are not required to file taxes. Maybe you don't have enough income or no income at all. But again, the IRS, the government's trying to give more money to people's pockets due to the pandemic. And also those stimuluses are still out there, still available for those that have not gotten those yet. Make sure this is for everybody. So make sure that you are filing a tax return just for that purpose. You can file a tax return just to get the stimulus. I've done several of those this year. So again, let me know. Slide into my DM if that is you, or you know someone that hasn't gotten their stimulus, but they're not required to file a tax return for whatever reason. You have to file a return to get the stimulus money. And there's been 3 stimuluses. There's been talks about the 4th one, but we're not going to talk about that on this show because I don't talk about anything until I know it's definitely coming down the pipe. Okay, so a lot of times that's just talk to get you to listen to their, whatever they're talking about. All right, so don't fall for the okie doke. Some people are asking me, is there a 4th stimulus? No, we're going to say no because they're just talking, but nothing concrete. So let me know if you guys have any questions about any of those updates. We're going to get into this cash flow problem that y'all have in y'all business. Why don't you have money in your business? Why don't you have money set aside for emergencies? We're going to talk about, I've got 6 tips to share with you tonight, that's going to have you, have a different lens in these directions as to why you are having a cash flow problem, because this may solve your problem. Because we know as small business owners, 42% of small business owners have a money management problem or challenge. They just have a hard time, keeping money. We're talking about cash flow, money that's readily available right now, right, that we can get our hands on to pay our bills or to handle an emergency, whatever the case may be. We need money now. So why is it that we're half of small business owners are struggling with that? Now, this is my area of expertise, so I really love this, and I'm glad I'm talking about it. I usually talk about other things, but this is really close to what I'm familiar with. I do this stuff all day with my own business. So this is numbers. It's all numbers. And we got to know our back office. We got to know what our numbers are. And so this is my lane. I love counting money. I don't necessarily like writing those checks, money going out the door. None of us like that. But it takes money to make money. Okay? It takes money to make money. So we're going to find ways to keep the money in-house, in our bank account, as long as we can before we have to write that check to pay our bills. So number 1, stay on top of deadlines. This is tip number 1. Stay on top of deadlines. Now, what do I mean by that? We all have bills that are due on certain days. I have a whole calendar. Let me see if I have it. I'm going to show y'all. I have a whole calendar dedicated to only my bills. It's not appointments. It's not reminders to do anything. And it looks like this. I mean, it's literally full. That's just bills. And I have a lot of them because I have a lot of different things going on. And I have a brick and mortar. So, if you have an office setting, there's bills, there's rent, there's utilities, there's security alarms, there's phones, there's all kind of cable, right? We got to have our internet. There's all kind of bills. Hi, Chelsea, how you doing? She says, yes, Mrs. Martine. Hi, sweetie. Thank you for sliding in Side Hustle Night School. So we got a lot of bills that we got to keep track of. So staying on top of things, you need to know when things are due. Now, and I'm speaking to myself too, because I get busy a lot, and sometimes I make a late payment, and it's because I'm extremely busy. Okay, so you might be like that too, but that's going to hurt us in the long run. We're talking about freeing up money so we can have cash flow in our account. But when we're paying our bills late because we forgot, or we just was too busy to get on top of it and pay our bills on time, or we're not recording, our bills. You can get a calendar like this, every month. I just transfer the same bills that are the same. I just rewrite them. Hold on for a second. I just rewrite them in the calendar. Y'all see this? This is a busy lady's calendar. This is a person with several businesses. It gets real crazy. Hi, Lisa. Welcome, Lisa. She says, good evening, business queen. Well, good evening to you, boss. I appreciate you coming in. Side Hustle Night School. So keeping track of your expenses. If it just takes you writing them down in a calendar or a spreadsheet, you can use an Excel spreadsheet to keep track of all your business expenses. But you need to know when they're due, and you want to pay them on time. Why? And some of you might have credit cards, you might have loans, business credit cards. You may have vendors that you have to pay. I have vendors. I have debit cards, credit cards, loans. I have them all, right? Okay, so we need to pay those on time, because what happens when we're late, we're spending money because we're late. You get punished because you're paying your bill late. How do you get punished? Late fees. Have you ever had an insufficient fund fee charged to you because something came through, a check came through, and you didn't have enough money in your bank account? Same thing with business. It's just like managing your personal expenses, but now it's for your business. You still get hit with that NSF fee, right? If it's a credit card, you get a late fee. Credit cards charge late fees, just like your banks do. You might have added interest on those loans. So that's money that you could have kept in your business, but no, you're paying them late and you're getting charged, these excess amount of fees. And these fees, NFF fees is expensive. Some banks charge $29 for non-sufficient fund. Some banks charge $35. I mean, it depends, right? But that's a lot of money. And if you have the protection, what is it called? When they go ahead and pay your check, but you still get charged. So I can't remember what it is right now, but they will go ahead and pay your check. So you still got to put that money back into the account and pay the non-sufficient fund fee on top of that. Right? So if that doesn't get paid and the next day rolls around, guess what? You're getting hit with another insufficient funds fee. So you got to come up with the money. Hi, Trina. She says, Boss Man Demo. Well, hello. How you doing? Thank you for sliding in to Side Hustle Night School. So again, paying late causes you to pay out more expenses. So a lot of y'all might be losing money because that's happening. That's happening, and we have to end that. And I'm guilty. That happens to me, and I hate it when it happens. And it's only because I forgot. But I got my calendar together. I've got everything written down. But I still need to refer back to it to make sure that there's money in the bank when these expenses come through, because I got several of them coming through. I have to check my calendar every day. Or you can set a reminder on your phone. Do what it takes to be reminded of these bills, because they're not going away, but they're going to cause you problems in the end. Hi, Trina Harris. She says, tagging someone, LOL. But hello, Queen. Well, thank you for tagging them. Okay, now I know what it was. Okay. Hi, Judy. She says, hey, Queen. Thank you for sliding in. Side Hustle Night School. Hi, Sarah. She says, good evening, Queen, boss lady. So all of y'all bosses over here watching me right now, how do you track your expenses? Do you write them down in a calendar like I do? Or do you keep a spreadsheet? I got tons of stuff, right? And then I go back, I make sure they get paid too. How do you track your expenses? Because that's one reason why we're losing money, because we're paying late fees. Tip number 2, y'all let me know in the chat. Instagram, let me know in the chat. Number 2, monitoring expenses. How are you monitoring it? How are you keeping track of your expenses? Do you have like an accounting software program that you use, like QuickBooks, or are you old school? You just have a logbook like the calendar that I have, and maybe you have both. You might use your electronic calendar on your phone. Y'all know how Gmail has your calendar right there on your phone, right? Trina says, I use a calendar as well. Best thing going, and I set the dates on my calendar. That's right. You have to use whatever works for you. So for Trina, what works best for her is using her calendar, and she sets the date so you can even remind yourself to pay bills. Judy says QuickBooks. Okay, so Judy uses a financial software program. Whatever you use, it's important to use something, because we're losing money because we're late paying our bills because we're not monitoring it. But when you monitor, you have to monitor your expenses, because we have credit cards, we have debit cards, right? We're writing checks. We're all over the place. We got checks coming through. We got a credit card debt over here. And so that could be a challenge for a lot of you that have, all these different, expenses out here. You've written checks and you forgot about it. Do you remember back in the day, we used to have our checkbooks and we used to reconcile. Did you guys ever reconcile your checkbook? It's a nightmare, because again, this is not a lot of you small business owners. It's not your strong points. You want to get in there and you want to run your business, and you don't want to worry about the back office. That's for me. That's my specialty, right? You don't want to, because that's not your thing. And so, but let me tell you, this piece of the business is crucial. And a matter of fact, it could make or break your business if you don't keep track of your expenses. And I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about this because I find a lot of small business owners is not keeping track. Y'all receiving your income through all these different credit card processors, and now you're using the Cash App and Zelle and whatever else is out there, Venmo. But are you actually bringing that income back over so where you can track it? And then some of y'all turn around and paying your expenses through those same platforms, Cash App and Venmo. Those are not financial software programs that's going to drill down and give you the reports that you need. Okay, it's just going to show what you did. And I don't even think it labels what it is. So if you're accepting income or sales from some, income from sales, and then you turn around and you paying, expense. I got Cash App. Do you accept Cash App? I got this money out here. Are you going back and you're putting that in your software program or logging that into your Excel spreadsheet? Let me know. Hi, Sarah Wells. She says, I don't pay late fees. Everything is set up on auto bill pay. Go ahead, girl. So I just keep money going in the account. So there's never a time not enough in there. That's right. And I'm glad you mentioned that because some of my bills are on auto pay and some are not. But that's a perfect way to avoid late fees, insufficient fund fees, all of that is to set it on automatic. And I know some of you might be leery about setting those automatic payments up because your money's funny. You don't have money, so you don't want to take the chance of it coming through and you need another day or another 2 days to get up some money and pay the bill. Because sometimes, if it's not on auto pay and it's due, like today is the 22nd, you don't have the money, but you'll have it tomorrow. So you could buy yourself a little time, but that can be tricky though, because now you're doing more tracking and trying to come up with this money than running your business. So I get that auto pay is awesome. But I know sometimes that's not where a lot of you all are. And that's great, Sarah, that you can do that on everything, all the expenses that you have. We want to get to that level. We want to aspire to Sarah Wells. We want to be a Sarah Wells. We want to have everything on auto pay. Work up to that. And the way you do that is to make more money in your business. So you don't ever have to worry about that. You're making so much money. Yeah, everything's set on autopilot, right? Judy says, I have the app on my phone. It sends me reminders to input my daily activities, expenses, and trips. Well, Judy, what app is it? Tell us. What apps? There are so many apps out there that helps you track your expenses, track your revenue, reminders. I even suggest my clients, my tax clients, to use a mileage tracker because a lot of y'all don't track the mileage and you're running around to these appointments and vendor activities and pop-ups and all whatever you're doing, and it's for the business and using your personal vehicle. You're not tracking your expenses. Then I ask, well, what is your business miles? And they just look at me like I said something in a different language. They have no clue. So how are you going to track your mileage? You remember when you file your taxes, your business taxes, you get a write-off for your vehicle. That's a depreciation. That's one that IRS gives you, a depreciation on your vehicle use for business. And then they give you the mileage deduction, standard mileage deduction, right? So if you're not tracking your business miles, then how can you capture that? Remember, that all helps reduce your liability, your tax liability. So, that's a whole nother lesson. But I'm just saying, we lose a lot of money because we're not tracking properly. Okay, tip number, also with the monitoring, it's important to monitor because we'll go out and we'll buy coffee. How much is coffee on a daily basis? Y'all heard people talk about, I spend $7, $8 on coffee every day. Some of y'all coffee lovers out there, I'll go to Scooters and get the strawberry smoothie, but I don't go every day because that's like $5 a pop. And then I drink it in like 3 minutes. If I did that, just imagine if I did that every day, how much would that add up to? That's another reason why you don't have money in your business, in your bank account, because we spending money. We're taking ourselves out to lunch, and y'all know I like to eat out. That's just me. I like to cook, but I like to eat out more than I like to cook because I'm a busy person. I don't have time to cook. But what if you're taking your staff out? I took my staff out. Cost me probably like $50 for lunch for all three of us, so little things like that. Or maybe you're going out and you're buying small items for your business, like a coffee pot, or maybe you're buying a scanner or a printer or something small, equipment that we need in our business. Maybe you're buying paper or something like that. You got to track all that. Those things add up. So that's another reason why you want to track all your expenses so you can monitor and see, well, shoot, I could free up a whole, $100 if I just stop buying coffee. Why don't you make coffee in the office? Some of y'all work from home. You run your small businesses from home. Make you a pot of coffee or tea. Okay. So those little things can add up. Don't think they won't. They can. Trina says, she says, that's me. I love scooters. I know, but I just drive right past them. I might treat myself on payday. I made a big sale today. I'm going to give me a $5 scooter. So I'll do things like that. If it's been a good day, everyday payday for small business owner, everyday payday. So you can treat yourself, but just be careful not to overdo it. Tip number 3, and thank you those that are coming into Side Hustle Night School. My name is Martine Corte. I'm entrepreneur out here in these streets. We're streaming live on 3 different platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I work with small business owners to help them make more money in their business. With the assistance of live streaming, that's the tool I use to get in front of my people and help them find their people. Trina says, I take pictures of all my receipts, and I have free Yahoo email I use for my receipts to help keep tracking of things I buy. Very good, Trina, because we need to be able to track it. And if you can find free tools, everybody say it with me. Type it in. Free tools. Tools is everything in business. We need to have tools. That's what makes things happen, right? Especially when we don't have to necessarily do everything. If we have tools in place, it happens seamlessly without any effort from us. We just set it up and it happens. But free tools, and there's tools that cost. Now, as your business elevates, we may not always be able to use the free, but the free 99 at the beginning, when we're just these small business owners, small, we're just beginning. We want to use everything we can possibly free of charge, because again, we're trying to monitor our expenses and we don't want to keep adding on expenses and we're not making money. We got to make money, right? So good for you. And also, capturing those receipts is very important. This is because when it comes down to adding up everything, if you use a system like Trina's saying that she uses, it's probably going to total up everything for her, so she doesn't have to do that. But what I will say is, for tax purposes, it needs to be in categories. And if y'all want this, I give out complimentary to small business owners a business expense tracking form. Send me a DM if you want that. It has the categories already laid out. So by the time you come to me with your numbers in those categories, all I got to do is plug it in, and we've got your profit and loss schedule completed just like that. Okay, so I help you get organized, because I don't sit here and add up all your expenses. I'm not a bookkeeper. I'm a tax professional. I prepare income tax returns for small business owners and individuals. Okay, that's an accounting or bookkeeping task. I don't do that, and y'all need to know the difference. So if your taxpayer look at you like, what you want me to do with that shoebox full of receipts? I had a trucker, and this was years ago. I had a trucker bringing me, I do a lot of truckers. And they have a lot of receipts. And, just people just don't know. And they just like, well, here's all my expenses. I know I can write them off, blah, blah, blah. And I looked at him. I'm like, what you want me to do with that shoebox full of receipts? It'll take me 3 hours to go through that. It was a lot. It was a shoebox full. This is a whole year's worth. No organization, no nothing. He probably don't remember what it was. So that first year, I went ahead and said, I'm going to get you together, sir. But come next year, no, I'm not doing this. It took us forever to do his tax return because we had to get himself organized and put all those receipts in categories. He had, receipts from cleaning, his uniforms. He had meals receipts. Y'all know when you over the road truck drivers, you have meals that you can write off. And so there's all these different expenses. And so I had to get Brother Man together. I was like, don't you ever do this to me again. I don't have time. I don't have the capacity. But it was a learning moment for him. So if y'all want that, send me a DM, business tracker expense form. Get y'all lives together. Okay. Sarah says, I love telling that story. She says, yep. I cut out some expenses, like I bought myself a shellac set and manicure my own nails. What? I do my own eyebrows. What? I try to find things I can do myself to cut out expenses. Good for you. Good for you. I don't know. I tried to do that when the pandemic first hit. I bought me a whole, nail set and a drill and everything. I was going to do my own nails and, because the nail shops were closed down anyway, right? So we couldn't go. I never did. Them nails started popping off. The set sat in there. I didn't spend the money, but never did use it. That's one thing I will not part with. So you have things that you're going to spend money on, and that's your pleasure, right? But if it doesn't matter to you that much, then yes, do something like Sarah did. She does her own nails. She does her own eyebrows. So some of those things, those luxury things that you can part with, then do that. You'll see the difference. You'll see how much more money you can save, right? Because again, we're talking about money management. If you got money going out because you doing this, you buying this, you running around, just spending money freely, but you suffering in your business, does that make sense? Does that make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. So we're here to make money. So I cut out some things. I cut out some things, I stopped shopping as much, but it depends on what you want to do. So you got to monitor those things, right? You got to monitor those things. Trina says, perfect. Thank you. You're welcome. Judy says, shoebox entrepreneurs moment. Right. I got him together quick. I was like, oh no, I can't do this. I said, we close in about an hour. You want me to sit down? No. Okay. Tip number 3. And I talked about this before. Y'all writing this down? Tip number 3. So tip 1 was stay on top of deadlines. Tip 2 was monitor spending. Tip 3, separate business and personal funds. I talk about this all the time. We're no longer commingling our money. Let's stop that. Let's stop that and separate your money out. Okay. Open up a business bank account. Okay. It's also the reason why we want to split it out, because you can track your expenses just from your bank account. And I have a US bank, and they'll even show you how much your expenses are for the whole month. As the month goes along, that number changes. And so you have another eyes on your expenses. We need to know our numbers. So if I'm spending, $4,000 a month on things for my business, I better be making $4,000 a month. Okay. How many of you do you know how much you spend every month? Does your bank account, do you guys do online banking? I do online banking so I can just sign in and see. Do you know how much you're spending a month in expenses? Do you know? So having a business bank account helps you monitor. You can reconcile your books. You're with the QuickBooks software program. you can attach your bank account and all the transactions load up into QuickBooks, and you can monitor, you can reconcile, say, hey, this reconcile means, remember I talked about this earlier, if you have we used to reconcile our bank books, for those that did that, you're checking off to make sure that everything is getting paid and it matches the money that was in the bank account. So you're reconciling to make sure that everything's paid, everything's covered for, and the money that you started with is minus however many bills or checks that came through there. So we need to know our balance. That's reconciliation. Okay. Tip number 4, create a budget. We need a budget. We need to know how much we need to run our business. That's the operating expenses. Okay, so we need to know how much money we're going to allocate to operate our business, because we can't just assign any kind of number. We don't want to have that much expenses. So we have a budget. So we have a budget for, advertising. You shouldn't spend more than 10% of your income on advertising. So we need a budget for that, because if you don't have a budget, then you're just spending money in that area and you're way over, you're spending way too much. And this kind of helps with the cash flow too, because if you're only limited to 10% of advertising, 10% of your revenue, and you can take this on a monthly basis as well, it helps keep money in your bank account. Remember, we're trying to keep that cash flow moving. Money's going out, but we need money coming in, but we need to have access to money at all time in case an emergency happens, right? So you need to know, okay, I'm only going to spend this amount of money on advertising. I'm only going to spend this amount of money. And advertising is banners, credit cards, flyers. If y'all got events coming up, how much does it cost you to print out flyers? Paying for your graphics. Maybe you have a graphic artist that does the whole design. All of that's advertising because you're trying to promote an event. That's one classification of a business expense. Maybe you have machines and equipment. Maybe you can't afford to buy that computer, the latest and greatest, the big screen. I want I don't even know how many inches it is, but I want that thing. But how much does it cost? And does it make sense financially for you to purchase that? Or do you need to wait till you get more money in? So knowing your numbers helps you make decisions on buying things, okay? Purchasing, buying decisions. So that's another reason why we need to track everything, monitor everything, create a budget so that we'll know our expenses. Maybe you can find a way to cut expenses, as we talked about earlier. So how much money are you spending a month? You know your numbers as far as revenue. I want to make another $5,000 a month on top of what I'm already making. So if you know your numbers, then you can set goals. And that's another reason why you want to monitor, so that we can set goals. If you don't know your numbers and you just kind of running around aimlessly, how are you going to get to the next level? Judy says, right. If I don't sell it, I don't buy more. That's right. I'm not Macy's yet. Right. It is what it is. You got to know what level you working with. I will get there. That's right. But before then, I have expenses limited to products to purchase each month. That's right. So we're going to get to the inventory, managing inventory, but we're not buying. If it's not moving, we're not buying more of it until we sell it. Mark it down, put it on sale, put it on clearance, right? Lisa, oh, wait, hold on. Lisa says, inquiring to know more about QuickBooks classes. Yes, Nebraska Enterprise Fund, because Lisa, I know you're here in Omaha. Nebraska Enterprise Fund, head to their Facebook page or nebbiz.org. They have QuickBooks classes all the time. Judy says, Facebook is my advertising marketing usage for now. Lots of events going on now, so I use those as my marketing strategy. That's right. And use the free stuff, y'all. Use the free stuff. Go out to fiverr.com, get you a graphic artist to make you a fire flyer. And it only costs you, maybe $25, So figure out how to reduce your expenses so you can do more and make more. Because we got too much money going out the door as it is. Hi, Dahlia. She says, that's right. So, okay, tip number 5. Manage inventory. And I alluded to that earlier, just a few minutes ago. Do you order too much? Judy? Judy says she doesn't. Do you run out of inventory? That's me. I know I don't order too much, because if it doesn't move, I don't buy more just for it to sit and collect dust. That's crazy. I know we have this thing where we want to make sure we have everything, or we have enough in case someone comes in and buys up, all of it or whatever. Sometimes we run out of inventory, which means we're losing money, because we're talking about cash flow, right? Trying to keep money in because we got a lot going out, but how can we keep cash flow, right? Your money that's readily available, that we can do anything with at any given time. So running out of inventory is bad too. How many of you have ever ran out of inventory and you had to turn away a customer or a client because you didn't have the product, right? You didn't have enough part of the product to make the product. Anything like that. Dahlia says budget business is a must. That's right. It is. You have to. A lot of people don't want to deal with this part, because I said earlier, this is not their strength. But find somebody where it is, hire them, get somebody on board where it is their strength. This part of the business has to be done in order to make the money, right? Let's see. Having too much inventory and not enough money. So how a lot of us sitting with all this inventory, when we don't have enough money, we got to sell it. We got to move the product, whether that means having a sale, making it a clearance. Y'all know the holidays coming up. Y'all should mark down those things that's been sitting all year long that you never sold, or you have an excess of it in inventory. That's money sitting there. I got $2,000 worth of African dresses in my basement right now that I cannot move. Why? Because the pandemic messed us up. That brand, S&M African Boutique, we were no longer selling clothes like we used to. $2,000 worth of inventory. That's money. So guess what I got to do? I got to figure out how to move that. I got to mark it down. I'm not talking half price. I'm talking a deeper, cuts than that. But we got to do what we got to do. And sometimes we just got to chop it up, right, as a loss, because you know how much you pay for the product. Those of you that are in retail, y'all know what I mean. You know what your wholesale, what your cost was, that wholesale cost, right? And you mark it up for retail. Sometimes we just got to take a loss and just get our money back, or as much of the money as we can, if we mark it below what we paid for. Does that make sense, everybody? You got to do what you got to do. We got to get that inventory out of here. We got to get our money back. Judy says, I advertise a product first. If customers show interest, I purchase it. I have limit of purchase each month for my inventory. That's a great strategy to use. Put it out there, test it out, see if people like it, and then maybe order just a limited and say, hey, it's a limited quantity, limited time offer. Put some urgency on it so that it moves quickly, because that's money sitting that you could be making. But until you sell it, it's actually a loss for you, because I got $2,000 worth of inventory. It's a loss for me unless I sell it. Does that make sense, everybody? I hope y'all writing these down, because we're trying to keep more money in our business. We need cash flow. We need money now. Cash flow is money that you have readily available right now. Tip number 6, this is the last one. Have cash reserves. Now, I know we're in the middle of pandemic. This is emergency fund. How many people really have a cash emergency fund, even personal? Do you really have it? If you do, is it really low? I mean, be honest with yourself. We've heard it from all the financial gurus, Dave Ramsey, all of them. What's the other lady? I forget her name. I love her. I can't remember her name. But anyway, she always says, denied. What's her name? But anyway, I love watching them, because they talk about money, cash flow, money management. And if you can't afford it, don't buy it. Denied. Okay, so we need to get to a point where we have cash reserves, especially when we're in business. It's very, very important. I couldn't tell you enough. In the real estate side, I'm a landlord, right? I have to have access to money, either in a cash reserves or by way of credit cards, business credit, something, right? Because God forbid something happens, and it does, even with your car. God forbid my car break down, my truck break down, your car break down. If you are real estate, you have tenants. I have tenants. If that hot water tank goes out, they can't get hot water to bathe with. You know how much hot water tanks are at Home Depot right up the street? I need to get that replaced quickly. It's got to be a quick turnaround, or we're going to have a problem. And so we need to have money. We need to have money readily available. So I hope this makes sense to you all. Let's see. That was the last one. Open up a business saving account and put your reserves in there. Put a little bit in, make it a regular deposit. So every month, put 10% away or whatever you want to allocate. Remember, this is a part of your budget. When you're building your budget, you have these expenses. I got 10% going to advertising. I got 10% going to my reserves, my emergency fund. I got this amount. And so you need a budget so that you know how much is going here. You already know you can plan for it. That's the whole thing about budgets. It's a tool to plan with. If we don't plan to succeed, what happens? Or to succeed to success, what happens? We fail, right? We fail to plan, which means that we're not going to be successful. So I hope this makes sense to you all. I'm gonna get off of here. My battery's getting ready to die on. I didn't charge this doggone laptop up, but y'all make sure that if y'all need my assistance helping with a budget, send me a DM. I can sit down and help you create that for you. Also, join my live streaming group. If you guys are interested in live streaming professionally for your business, send me a message and I'll send you an invite. It's a free Facebook group. All right. You should be live streaming for your business to make money. There's another reason why we don't have money, because we're not live streaming. We're not telling the world about our business. Also, hit me up on Calendly. I am taking appointments. I'm opening up my calendar for November. I'm just too busy right now. There's a ton of events going on. So November will be a good time if you want to, schedule an appointment with me. I do schedule those. And so you can have a free chat session for me for about 30 minutes, right? Okay. Also, if you're watching and you're a small business owner and you want to get started with another business, or maybe you don't have a business and you want to start one and you want to register it, we do at our Advanced Tax Solutions, my tax firm, we do LLC and EIN registrations. So if you need help with that, send me a DM and I'll let you know what next steps to take. All right. Let me know if y'all have any other questions. Dahlia says, yep, so true. Does this make sense? I hope this helps you guys have a different lens on areas where you could be saving money. And if you're saving money, you're keeping more money in the business. We have a problem with small business owners having money to run our businesses, the day-to-day operations, the cash flow. That's what we need. We always need access to funding, to money to grow our business, but we got day-to-day expenses. We got bills galore that's happening right now. We need money now. How can we look in other areas of our business to free up money so we'll have more to work with? That's what this was all about. So make sure you guys share the broadcast. Please share the broadcast to your business besties. Thank you for those that are watching on the replay. If you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and type in comments, #replay. So that I know you watched it on the replay. If you have any questions after the broadcast, please type them in. Facebook will notify me and I'll answer your questions. Those that are just new watching me, just coming to the broadcast, my name is Martine Corte. What's going on Instagram? He says, hey, Fudge Leona. She says, this is $16 a month. I use a financial software. So she pays $16 a month. That's a low amount of expense to have a financial accounting software program to track your money, your expenses, and your revenue. Remember, free is always great, but low cost some items are, higher level accounting software programs will cost you a little bit. Don't be afraid to spend a little money, but just track that. She's paying $16 a month. Maybe she could stop going to get coffee. And that would pay for her financial software. So think like that, you guys. What can I free up to pay for this? I know I need to add this expense. Is there somewhere in my business where I can reduce my expenses so I can pay for this other expense? Frivolous things that we spend our money on. All right. So again, my name is Martine Corte, entrepreneur out here in these streets. I work with small business owners, entrepreneurs, to help them make more money in their business. So thank you all for coming into Side Hustle Night School tonight. I appreciate you. Join me every Thursday for Side Hustle Night School around 9:30-ish p.m. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We've got a lot of events coming up. We got the Boss Awards coming up on October 30th. For those that are local to me here in Omaha, that's going to be a phenomenal event. So I'll talk about that more, but we got the Global Leadership Africa Summit this weekend. So I'm so happy to be an ambassador for that. And I will also be speaking as it relates to taxes and money management, cash flow problems, y'all. So again, just keep up with me. Follow me in my stories. I put a lot out in my stories. I help teach you all through that throughout the week. And then we come back here on Thursday. So thank y'all so much. Appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.